Hi, it's Kiffin Lebates here, part 2 on my video explaining how my RFID tag plus blockchain system works. And I have this prop here that I have made. So I talked before that if you want to do one-way authentication or digital signing, it takes a certain amount of computational power, and that computation has got to be done somewhere, and it cannot be done on cheap or even expensive RFID tags because they just don't have that computational power. However, what I have managed to do with my RFID plus blockchain invention is I can shunt off the computational work to the manufacturer's servers and a blockchain. And then the RFID tag is basically acting as a one-time pad. So there is a limitation to the invention in that you can only do the authentication about 16 times on a sort of standard mid-range key protected RFID tag. Those are typically available in the sort of 40 to 60 cents range. So we're not going to be putting them on ketchup bottles. But anyway, here's the idea. The manufacturer, let's say you've made a pair of brand name sneakers and you want people to be able to verify that they're genuine. So the sneakers have to kind of perform a one-way authentication. They have to effectively be able to digitally sign the fact that they are real. And what I've done is in my invention, the manufacturer creates a one-time pad and loads it onto the RFID tag. And this is a kind of physical representation of that. We have, in this case, 3 passwords in the one-time pad, and there are 4 tags across here. And these, by tags I mean covers. You can imagine these are like scratch card things. So once they're scratched off, they can't be put back on. And what happens is I get the box, and you'll see there's the array of letters and numbers, and I go to the blockchain and I say, I want to authenticate this particular product, this particular instance of the product, in fact. What is the key for row A? And back from the blockchain comes the result. When I search for it, A is 1, 3. So I then go to that and I go, okay, I'll peel off 1 and 3. Oops, here we go. And you'll see under 1 and 3 it says yes and yes. So that has authenticated for row A. So the next time I want to authenticate, the smart contract on the blockchain will have spotted that that has been used because it was queried for, and it's released the next one. So for row B, it's 3, 4. So then I go to 3, 4 to prove to a vendor, seller, rather a buyer, that is authentic, and I peel off 3. And this is where the sticky is too good. So I peel off 3 and I peel off 4, and again under there you can see 3 and 4 says yes, yes. And you can't look under these things until you actually have the device in front of you. So somebody else who's made a counterfeit and tried to duplicate this doesn't know what's under here or what the correct arrangement is until they actually get their hands on it. And by checking each one in turn and querying the blockchain, the fact that that has been done is revealed, and these things cannot be reused. Now, if I try to wing it and just pick, say, 2 at random, so I'm now going to peel off 3, I can't even remember what I put underneath, so this is a real test. 3 and 2. Oh no, it was 3 and 2. I'm going to peel off 3 and 1. There we go. 3 and 1. Now when you look at that, because I've just tried to guess it, it's come out as a no yes. So that's a failed authentication. So that's what happens if someone tries to break into it. And the other thing is, you can't copy this because the things under here are hidden until you go and query them on the blockchain. So the calculation is basically shunted off onto the blockchain and either a smart contract or a monitoring program that has a look at what activity is going on. And what I'm doing there with peeling off the stickers, that's like me using my RFID tag reader, it querying the blockchain, getting the key, checking that that key allows it to look in the memory location in the RFID tag, and then what's in the memory location, if hashed, has to return the key that was used to lock that memory location in the first place. And reversing that computation is really, really hard. So people can't do it in a sensible amount of time, and certainly they can't do it for thousands upon thousands of champagne bottles. They might be able to tackle one at a time. So that's a visual example of how my invention works. I've had to gloss over a few things because it relies on the symmetric key cryptography of the RFID tags, it relies on the blockchain, and it relies on the reader. But what it does do is allow a relatively cheap RFID tag to perform much more secure authentication of the goods than a low-end RFID tag can. The only thing that is better would be an IoT device, and as pointed out, they're expensive, they need batteries, and you're not going to be putting them on mid or even high range goods, only on very, very expensive or large items. So hope that was a bit more of an explanation on what's going on. Feel free to email me if you'd like to ask any more sort of questions. If there's something that's not clear, it would really help me so that I can work on getting the pitch for this a little bit better. And if you're interested and you haven't seen the previous videos on this, I have a whole bunch of videos on RFID plus supply chain plus blockchain, which you can find on my YouTube channel. So that's it for now. See you in the next video soon. Bye.